live from 2 on your side. This is Buffalo Nightly News with Mary Alice Demler.
Tonight on Buffalo Nightly News, as the Department of Homeland Security shutdown goes on, so does the very long lines at airports. Tonight, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agencies are stationed at several major airports across the country as TSA workers face shortages. You can see their presence is already being noticed in airports in Chicago, Cleveland, Newark, and Houston. Thanks for joining us for Buffalo Nightly News. And while agents are not expected at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, many Western New Yorkers traveling for spring break could encounter them at larger airports. 2 on Your Side's Chelsea Swift is live in our studio after speaking with an immigration attorney on what travelers can expect. Chelsea?
It's the administration's attempt to fix a very deep problem in the United States.
Rosanna Berardi says as TSA agents continue to be impacted by the partial government shutdown, ICE agents will have a sweeping amount of rights at the airport that some travelers might want to be aware of. She says American citizens and green card holders still have their constitutional right and do not have to answer questions if they don't want to. But she believes the best practice is to answer the questions that are being asked and provide the documents that they request.
They are trained to look at things very quickly. They can assess very accurately and quickly what someone's immigration status is in the United States. And I think they will be doing that across the board. And if there's any issues, they can certainly detain a person or ask for more information.
Berardi says in the last 24 hours, ICE agents made an arrest at an airport in San Francisco.
On one hand, I think the administration sent ICE to the airports to try and help out. On the other hand, we also have the administration saying, well, we're helping out, but we're certainly going to arrest and detain anyone that doesn't belong here.
Congressman Nick Langworthy weighs in on the topic. He believes ICE agents can be useful if they temporarily solve a staffing crisis.
If there is a way that they can, scan an ID, some of this is rather ministerial. The computer is the one doing the work. If there's a way that those TSA agents can assist, then it's productive. If it's just for show, it's not productive. And we want to see this crisis solved.
Well, the NFTA is helping TSA workers at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport. There was a gift card collection for agents who are going without pay right now as the partial government shutdown continues. They collected gift cards from grocery stores, restaurants, as well as gasoline gift cards. NFTA leaders say they wanted to find a way to lift some of the financial burden that TSA agents are facing.
We're just hoping that this drive can show our TSA agents locally that we really care about them and that we want to show them our generosity and our appreciation for their hard work, because this is not easy working without getting paid.
If you miss the gift card drive and would like to help out, you can still bring those gift cards to the airport. The NFTA says that they will make sure that TSA agents get them. Meanwhile, AAA says there is a growing concern among drivers. Headlight glare is causing problems after dark, especially on roads with several lanes. Technicians with AAA say vision problems have only gotten worse as headlight technology develops.
Headlight technology has evolved to the point where headlights now can put out 10 to 15 times more brightness than they could 15 years ago. And with that brightness the more brightness you have, the more reflection you get. The more reflection, the more glare you're going to get. So because we can see better in the dark, it also affects how we see traffic coming at us in the dark.
AAA says the most important thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your windshield and your glasses, if you wear them, clean. Dirty windshields and lenses can refract light more vividly. Well, turning now to the latest on the weather, we finally saw some sunshine today. Here's a live look in downtown Buffalo now, where things are pretty calm. Looks like we're working on a little bit of a nice sunset there. But I'm told more rain could be in our future. Storm Team 2 meteorologist Dan Russell is up on the roof. Is that so, Dan?
Absolutely, Mary Alice. But we are talking rain, which means we're also talking warmer temperatures because, of course, today it was cold enough if we were picking up precipitation. it would have been in the form of wintry conditions, some snowflakes, but of course we had the sunshine. Radar trying to pick up on some activity right now, but that activity not even reaching the ground. It's what we call virga. It's evaporating, just some high clouds filtering in. Still might squeeze in a nice little sunset there if we can see it break some of those high clouds as it does begin to set. And overall, if you do have any evening plans, it is a quiet evening. Temperatures right now low to mid 30s, but notice we don't really drop all that quickly heading into tonight. In fact, tonight will be warmer, say, compared to last night. Not as cold with lows upper 20s to around 30. So you'll notice as you head out tomorrow. And overall, it is going to be a milder day tomorrow despite limited sunshine. We'll end up with highs around 50. That is above average. And then it's Thursday where we are tracking windy and warm conditions, but also some widespread rain, especially to finish up the day. I'll time that out for you with Future Look and the extended forecast in just a little bit. Mary Alice?
All righty, Dan, we'll see you in a few. Well, we may have seen the sun for a bit today, but with rain clouds on the way for later this week, make sure to stay ahead of it with our 24/7 live radar. You can use it to see live satellite radar plus an hour-by-hour forecast for where you live. It's streaming right now on our free app, WGRZ+. Well, new on Buffalo Nightly News, one woman is recovering in the hospital after crashing her car into a dump truck. The Niagara County Sheriff's Office says this happened just after noon at the intersection of Heartland Road and Slayton Settlement Road in the town of Royalton. The Sheriff's Office said the woman failed to yield to the dump truck, who had the right of way. She was airlifted to ECMC, where she's being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. We're told traffic violation charges are pending further investigation. Just over an hour ago, we learned a Dunkirk police officer was shot but survived during a standoff that lasted more than 7 hours. Authorities say officers were serving an arrest warrant at a home on Franklin Avenue around 6:30 this morning when 39-year-old Christopher Marcinkowski fired, hitting an officer's bulletproof vest. They say Marcinkowski then barricaded himself inside, but after hours of negotiations, he surrendered peacefully. A shelter in place was issued during the incident, but lifted around 2 p.m. Marcinkowski remains in custody and faces several charges. One of 2 men involved in a disturbing incident at the Tops on Jefferson Avenue in Buffalo will spend 12 years in prison. Prosecutors say 34-year-old Avelo Pena pointed a gun at someone in the parking lot back in June. Police later found 2 loaded ghost guns and several magazines in his car, though they say there's no connection to racism or the 2022 Tops mass shooting. Pena's co-defendant, Roddy Bidget, already pleaded guilty and was sentenced to a maximum of 7 years. A 21-year-old town of Tonawanda man is facing murder charges in a deadly shooting last fall. Jameer Davis was arraigned today on charges including murder, robbery, and evidence tampering. Police say they found 47-year-old Samuel Wisonent dead inside a Thompson Street home in Buffalo's Black Rock neighborhood back in September. Investigators say Davis took part in the shooting and later returned to remove items from the home, which were found nearby. If convicted, he faces up to 25 years to life in prison. Well, the year was 1997. A 7-year-old girl was murdered. Fast track a few months later, her body was discovered in a field. Her mother's boyfriend was charged and has been in prison ever since. And now he awaits a parole hearing. 2 on your side's Claudine Ewing has the story.
This is Angel Colon. He remains locked up on a 25 years to life sentence for the murder of this little girl, Samantha Zaldivar. Her family maintained from the time he was convicted that he should never be free.
That he has the chance to get out. Samantha didn't have the chance to get out, to be alive.
Testimony and parole documents show Samantha was molested. Colon used a pillow to smother her. He put her body on a truck and buried her in this Wyoming County cornfield. There is now a marker to remember her.
I feel like there's so much evil going on in the world every day that people honestly don't have the time to focus in on things that happened 29 years ago. When I hear about him getting paroled, it makes my blood boil.
Ashley is a family friend who is hoping parole is never granted.
And I want people to not breeze over the fact that once he gets out, it's too late. He's done his time.
Samantha was a first grade student. Elizabeth was her friend. Today, they would be 36, and this case has changed her. She does remember meeting Cologne at Samantha's 7th birthday party.
Was there anything out of the way that you would have known as a child who was 6 or 7?
No. Looking back in hindsight, he was very attentive to all of us girls.
And as Cologne is up for parole in May, Elizabeth has this message.
Angel took Samantha's entire life. Like, he stole her future. And I don't think justice can be served unless he lives out her entire life in prison.
On your side, Claudine Ewing, Channel 2 News.
Well, tonight, a man accused of smuggling a family, including a baby, across the border in a small raft is back in custody. And that's where we begin tonight's nightly briefing.
I'm Ron Plants here in the Channel 2 newsroom. Today I was in federal court where a detention hearing was waived by an illegal smuggling suspect identified as Andres Carrillo Hernandez of Mexico. That individual accused of actually using this inflatable raft to try to take 2 individuals, an Irish man and an English woman, and their 8-month-old baby from Canada into a Grand Island where they were arrested by Border Patrol agents. This was in the early morning hours of March 19th. They say he was paid $2,000 to make that illegal smuggling run.
I'm Melissa Clausell in Buffalo. Buffalo Common Council members are demanding change from the Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority after hearing directly from residents about what they say are poor living conditions. Now council members and BMHA leadership are working to find time to address these issues brought up by residents.
I'm Kelly Dudzik in Buffalo. Starting this fall, St. Bonaventure University will require its students to take a seminar on artificial intelligence. It'll be part of their first year seminar, a unit. And today I talked with somebody from the university about why they're doing this. You can see the story right now on WGRZ.com.